Perfect.
Welcome back to Life of Birch. This is Birch, and today we're doing a quick video showing you how to adjust the rear suspension on your Honda Rebel 300 or 500. And we are coming to you today from beautiful, scenic Annapolis, Maryland. I've had lots of people comment on my videos before asking where I'm riding because they said that it looks nice and they want to visit or whatever. So I figured I'd bring you down to the water with all the sailboats, gorgeous day out, and we'll do the work here. Now this is super simple to do, requires no tools at all, and can really help the way that the bike feels and handles. When I first got my Rebel 300, I found that it rode extremely bumpy and stiff. Oh, why did I do that? Come to realize that the suspension was set way too preloaded for my weight. Now, I didn't even know until a couple months of owning my Rebel 300 that the suspension was even adjustable, let alone how easy it was to do. So that's why I'm making this quick video now that I have my 500 to show you exactly how to do it and exactly how easy it is to do. Now, the suspension on these bikes is only adjustable in the rear. It is not adjustable in the front from the factory, but the rear on both sides is going to be adjustable for preload. Now, what is preload? It essentially means when the suspension is at its full height, how compressed is the shock. So we're going to be adjusting how far the shock compresses. Past that, I don't want to go into too much detail because I'm not claiming to be the most knowledgeable person ever. I'm just going to leave a link to a website that I found that explains preload in such great detail that they're going to do a way better job than I am. So I'll leave that link in the description for you to check out, and I'll just show you exactly how we're going to adjust it today. Now, before we get started, I do just want to say a couple things that the owner's manual points out. The first one is that it says that you should always get the suspension adjusted by a mechanic. I'm going to show you how to do it, but if you don't feel comfortable doing it, or if you don't understand it enough to do it, then take it somewhere to get it done. I'm sure it won't cost much, if anything. The second thing that it says in the owner's manual is that you need a spanner wrench to adjust the suspension. I'm just going to show you how to do it with your hand. It's really that easy. If you have a spanner wrench that you want to use, feel free. But I'm telling you, I'm not the strongest guy in the world, and we're just going to do it by hand. It also makes a point to mention that because each side is independently adjustable, you always want to make sure that they're set to the same settings. You don't want to have this side stiffer or bumpier than this side. It can really throw you off. The last word of caution that I want to give is that the owner's manual states that you never want to make too big of an adjustment at once. There are 5 different levels of settings for these, and it says that you'd never want to go from 1, which is the softest, all the way to 5, which is the hardest. You might want to switch it from 1 to 3, then ride for a little while, then 3 to 5. You never want to make a big jump because it could mess something up. Alright, now that we're done all the disclaimers, let's get straight to it. Alright, so now that we're getting up close and personal, I just want to point out that these graphics are not my doing. The bike came with them on there, and they should hopefully be coming off today. Don't judge me. Also, don't judge how dirty the bike is. It's pollen season, so there's not much that I can do. Alright, so when you look at either of the rear shocks, what you're going to see is that there's 5 different levels of adjustment. Right now it is set on 2, which is how it comes standard from the factory. If you turn it to the left, this is going to be setting 1, which is going to be slightly softer. And then you have 3, 4, and 5 to the right, which are going to be progressively harder. Like I mentioned, it does say to use a spanner wrench, and you'll see the grooves in here if you do want to use one of those. But it really is easy enough that you can just use your hand. So that's what we're going to show you right now. So if you want to turn it to the right to get a little bit firmer, say from setting 2 to setting 3, all you're going to want to do is grab on down here, lift up a little bit, and twist. Just like that, it goes from the setting 2 where it was to setting 3, which is a bit firmer. And it's just as easy again to go from 3 to 4. Now if you want to go softer, just do the same thing, but spin to the left. Back to setting 3. Back to setting 2. And then we'll come around to the other side, and you can see the other side looks the exact same. Here it is set on 2. 1 over here is softer, and then 3, 4, 5 is going to go to firmer. And it's the same deal. You're just going to grab at the bottom, lift up a bit, and twist. And now you can see we were at 2, now we're at 3. If we wanted to go firmer, we could go to 4 or 5. Twist it right back to 2, or go to 1 for the softest if we wanted. Alright, that's all there is to it. It really is that simple. Now, like I said, there's going to be a link in the description to a website that goes into super great detail about what preload is and how it works. So make sure to read up on that before adjusting. It'll probably make you feel a lot more comfortable with what you're doing and understand why you're doing it. Much better than I would be able to explain, that's for sure. So there is your little tech tip of the day for the Honda Rebel 300 and 500. I do have a lot of aftermarket parts coming in for this bike still, but I figured I'd make this video in the meantime. Make sure to smash the subscribe button, because as soon as all the parts come in, we're going to do install videos for pretty much each and every single one of them. So make sure to keep an eye out for that. Hopefully this video helped you, and if it did, make sure to give it a big thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and we will catch you on the next one. Peace!